2012. County Attorney Jill Gillette for the state. Is the defendant by chance here, Ms. Bruner?
Yep, I'm right here.
Okay, this is a motion motion for judgment on bond. Is the bondsman here, or was this just pro se, Ms. Gillette? On forfeiture hearing?
I'm here also, Your Honor.
Okay. Tyson Case is here as well.
Yes.
We are here on your motion, Ms. Gillette. How do you wish we proceed?
The defendant, I believe she was arrested. I don't have a return yet. On the warrant for my file, so since she has been arrested, turned over, I believe she was on a $2,000 cash bond or C judge. I do not know when they have her first appearance scheduled.
Well, I show that she failed to appear on a warrant to show cause January 7, 25, after posting $1,000 surety bond secured by Big Fish Bill bonds. And they were notified to be here today. But Mr. Case, you're not with them, are you?
That's one of our companies.
Oh, okay. And the new bond was set at $2,000 cash or surety when she failed to appear. And you have not made that new bond, Miss Bruner McCall, is that right?
I didn't know anything about it. The paperwork I got in the mail said it was to decide my $1,000 surety bond or whatever it was. I didn't know anything about another bond.
You didn't know that you needed to turn yourself on a failure to appear warrant?
Well, no, I called and I didn't know it was supposed to be Zoom. I called the courts, and with the weather and all that, like they told me that they were going to send a Zoom link.
My question is today.
For the next visit.
My question is today. You're saying that your bondsman didn't tell you to turn yourself in on this warrant. You're still floating.
I did not know about
So,
anymore.
Mr. Case, she's still floating around out there with an active warrant. Is that right?
So this is the thing I was coming to talk to you today. Is I could.
And I don't think he did either, because I kept in contact with him constantly.
Who's saying that?
That's her. So what? So when I got.
Hang on. I thought that Motorola Motor G was the defendant, Bruner McCall. Am I wrong on that?
No, that's me.
Okay, well, I didn't see your mouth moving, but I heard someone talking that I thought was you.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, no, it was me. My mouth was moving.
Okay, let me get my answer from him. Mr.
Yes.
Case, why is it that she is out there wandering around with an active warrant for failure to appear?
Well, Your Honor, what I was under the impression of, now I am here for the forfeiture hearing, and I'm just here to verify some things. I have already just spoke to her prior to this hearing. She had this same Zoom set up. What she had told me is that there was bad weather and it was a snowstorm, because she called me that day. And
stop, please stop. I am asking you why she is not surrendered to law enforcement.
You know, I will go arrest her right now. It's not an issue. She told me.
Why haven't you done that?
She told me she had court today also. That's why I'm here right now. All I need to do is figure out what you want me to do. I've already explained that to her. I told her that if you want me to go arrest her, I am going to be going to arrest her. Is that not what I told you prior to this, Rihanna?
Yeah, that's.
So I was going off of what she had told me about the Zoom hearing. She just so happened to also have the Zoom, so I got on here at the same time. I will go do whatever you ask me to do, Your Honor.
Well, I know you always do, Mr. Case. You're one of the least I have to worry about because you are very conscientious. But I also know you've sat through enough hearings with other bondsmen to know if there's an active warrant, either you go pick them up and turn them in, or you convince them to turn themselves in.
Correct. And that's why I was here to ask for some time in order to get her turned in. That's what I was here to ask. And
where is she located?
She's here in Wichita. She gave me her address. What's your address she gave me just a little bit ago, Brianna?
on
Yeah,
West
don't say it
45th
out, don't say it
Street.
out loud on the internet.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, she was ready to surrender herself to me and everything. I just had gone off
Okay.
what was said, and there was a snowstorm that day. So that's why I was kind of going with it. That's why we're both here, and I can do whatever you need me to do. She's fully aware of that.
Well, I can't believe she thought that since July 7th to today, there was no ramification for not appearing, but
I think I bonded her. I don't think. Let me look at when I bonded her. But no, I get what you're saying. Either way, what you're saying. But I bonded her. Looks like 1/7 of 25. I'm seeing here. Is that the one you're seeing? Oh no, 11. 11/20, and her court date was 1/7.
well, it's hard for me to set aside a motion for bond forfeiture when the defendant's not even in custody. Ms. Gillette, what's your position on this motion?
I request she either be taken into custody, have the warrant served, so then we can get her. She has a new bond, which is 2,000 cash because it was a pay or appear at a warrant to show cause for not paying her fines on her probation and not being given correct phone information and other information for her court services officer. The officer was just, and then she didn't appear for her warrant to show cause hearing. So
All right, Mr. Case, get her turned in on her warrant. We'll set this over. When's our next bond forfeiture date, Missy?
All right, if she's gonna be turned in, will she get a first appearance or are you gonna put her?
We'll need a first appearance, or we can give her a special one if we need to. I don't know. I guess if we give her a first appearance, we won't be able to see her until Tuesday, so we'll have to give her a special one.
Well, if she's going to be booked in, then they'll call for a. I mean, if I give her a date, I don't know that that's what the jail will give her when she bonds out. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, so we won't set the date until she turns herself in.
Okay, we'll get this taken care of.
All right. So that will be the order today, that she turn herself in, and when she does, we'll revisit the matter.
Okay, we'll get it taken care of.
Thank you, Mr. Case.
No problem. Thanks.
You're welcome. In custody and pro se, and Mr. Tyson Case, you're her bondsman, is that right?
Correct.
And you are the reason she's joining us today following a conversation with someone else the other day from your agency?
Oh, actually, that was me that day.
Oh, was that
You're
you?
referring to the, yes. So, right after that conversation, me and Rihanna spoke, and she had turned herself immediately into me.
Mhm.
And she was booked down here due to, I thought that there was a city case maybe that we had that was, that she might have been off on, but it wasn't. She had been doing everything that she's supposed to do, been working. She's been doing everything that she said she would do for me. So she came, turned herself in.
Except one big thing. She
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
get the court. Yeah.
Yes,
she didn't get the
yes.
court.
Well, yes, I understand that part, but
Okay.
that's what I'm saying. As in resolving the whole matter, she's done everything to get it taken care of.
Okay. Well, we were set for warrant to show cause, and that's what she failed to appear for. So, Miss Bruner McCall, there is a hearing we need to set to see if your probation should be revoked or not, as the state has alleged that you have violated. And I'm not seeing that you have an attorney of record. You're looking at multiple counts of theft by deception. And okay, quite a bit of activity on this case for it, especially since it's a 2021 case. Let's see. Ms. Gillette, it doesn't look like she had an attorney before. Is that right? Did she waive her attorney? I can find that if I dig a little deeper here. But you don't have one now. And the state, through Jessica Morgan, your probation officer, is alleging that you failed to pay court costs as directed. You failed to pay fines, failed to pay restitution, failed to report. You were to contact your CSO June 28th of 2022, but contacted the CSO June 30th of 22 at 6:21 a.m. That was the last communication she had from you. And
I turned the paperwork in that they gave me and I never got anything in the mail or anything. It was to my understanding, I was on a, what is it? Probation, but it was probation with what is it? Non-reported probation. But they said that it was my understanding that I was gonna get paper in the mail to fill out and stuff, and I never received anything.
well, that is not consistent with the court's notes or Miss Morgan's notes. You evidently knew you were, well, I'm not going to get into the merits of whether you did or you didn't, but you were on reporting probation with Jessica Morgan. I've read to you what the allegations are. Do you wish to have an attorney represent you on this, or do you wish to waive an attorney and represent yourself? But there is the potential of jail time hanging over your head if this is revoked.
I would like to get an attorney.
Okay, can you hire an attorney? Can you afford to hire one?
It might be possible if I can get my paycheck and go back to work. Yeah,
Where do you work?
at Smithfield.
Smithfield, remind me what that is.
It's like farmland. I was working for Flip It Wichita, but then I got on at Smithfield too, so I do both jobs.
And what do you do for them?
I do packaging and stuff for Smithfield, and for Flip It Wichita, I go out and clean out storage units and stuff, and set up everything in the shop for my owner to put on display and sell, and help her sell in her business. So
All right. And what do you get paid per month?
at Flip It, I get like $10.50 an hour, and I work like 20 hours a week. And at Smithfield, I get paid like $22.50, and I work like 30 hours a week.
So you work a total of 50 hours a week between the two jobs?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to need the jailer to give you a form, an application. You're going to need to fill that out in detail and get that back to me so I can find out if you qualify for a court-appointed attorney or not. Missy, when do you want to set this warrant to show cause hearing?
April 8th at 3:30.
Will Mr. Paul be here?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm going to set your warrant to show cause why your probation should not be revoked for April 8th at 3:30. You must be in person at the courthouse, not Zoom. She has to be at the courthouse, Mr. Case.
Okay.
And now then, Ms. Gillette, does the state want to take a position on this bond that she has had for a while now?
Judge, she bonded out she failed to appear on her January 7th of 2025 warrant to show cause. She had a bond then. Then she was picked up and she bonded. And then she missed a date. The bond forfeiture was set for March 11th, and she showed up to the bond forfeiture. So,
But she wasn't in custody. She didn't
Right.
turn herself in prior to the hearing.
bonded on $2,000 cash bond from January 7th, 2025, because she failed to appear. She got arrested, bonded, and then she failed to appear. So she failed to appear at a first appearance, and then she ended up coming to the judgment hearing and was told to be surrendered. And then she's here today. So she's an absconder. She failed to appear for her first appearance. She did show up for the bond forfeiture hearing. So, for me, having her had been absconded and missing her first appearance, she's got to have more responsibility for her own actions. Her bondsman got her here for the bond forfeiture date. And then she was turned in. So, with that being said, I would want either GPS or something so we know where she's at to make sure she's going to be coming to court if she gets a bond.
Okay, she had some 6 theft charges and that she pled to 1.
She pled to 2 counts, count 2 and count 3. She had 6 months underlying with 12 months probation supervised with standard conditions, pay 1/12 by close of business, and then you wanted to make sure the journal entry said she waived counsel and she had cost and fees and restitution. They were ran concurrent to each other. She has 6 months underlying and 12 months supervised probation.
But then she allegedly didn't report much to probation, as I covered a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
June 28, 2022. June 30th, that was that telephone call. So probation hasn't seen or heard from her since June 30th of 2022 would be their testimony. And all right, Mr. Case, you're willing, you said, to take her back or not?
Yeah, I'm good.
And
She,
you're-
like I said, the thing I wanted to say, I didn't want to interrupt anybody, but I do believe that the day that she had court was that it was a snowstorm or something, and she was reaching out to me immediately, and I told her to contact the courts, and so that's what she was doing. And I don't know what the conversations between her and the courts were in between, but once you said that she needed to be picked up, she just came straight to me and took care of it. It wasn't like she was running or not in contact with me. Prior to that, I was just I understood that she maybe had got a different Zoom hearing or something, and that's why we were where we were at. But she turned herself right in, and she's been sitting there.
Well, where's she been for the last 3 years? Probation officer says she hasn't seen her in 3 years, coming up in July.
And so to that, what I was going to say is that she's obviously working now, and sometimes people have a little hiccups in their lifestyles and stuff, and I think that maybe she wasn't really doing everything the right way at the time that she caught these cases and afterwards. But I think she's finally starting to get everything back together. I know she was having her kids and a lot of things that she's been doing that were really good because she's been going to court down here in Wichita also. So she wasn't like on the run.
Wichita court in the last 3 years, but she can't find her way to Greenwood County Court by Zoom. I don't think she's ever been expected to be here by anything but Zoom. So I question why she would have thought the snowstorm kept her from coming to court. But we'll take all of that up at her show cause hearing, and she's going to turn in an application. The bond you have her on, Gillette was talking about a $2,000. Do you have her on a $2,000? I showed a $1,000.
I think it's 1,000.
I think it is too. I think that's at 1,000. I think we elevated it, but I don't think she ever made that elevated one. So I showed that at one point in 21, the bond was 2,500. It looks like she talked us down to 1,000. And then when she failed to come to court the next time, we put it at 2,000. But I don't think she's made that yet, Miss Gillette, from what my records are showing. Now, if you have a signed bond, I'll certainly consider that. But okay, I'll reinstate her. Man, I do not feel comfortable reinstating $1,000 bond on somebody that's been gone for 3 years.
I will do the GPS or whatever it takes. Like, I'm just trying to make everything right with everybody, but I can't, I can't help no one else if I don't, go back to work and.
Well, I'm going to leave your bond at 2,000, and I am going to require EMD. I'm going to require that your bondsman knows where you are so he can pick you up. And I mean pick you up if you fail to come to court.
So is that 2,000 surety?
It is. Now, if you want to pay your 2,000 directly towards your case in cash, you can sure do that because I think your outstanding balance.
Okay.
Let me double check that, but I think if you'd rather pay that on your case instead of to your bondsman.
Well, if I can get out there and be on the GPS or whatever, I can start paying on my case and then paying keep up on my bondsman. You
have a pending 2024 case. Interference with law enforcement, falsely reporting a crime, intending action, that's still pending in Sedgwick County. That's a felony.
Yeah, and
that's April 14th. So that says you picked that charge up June 24th of 2022. So you were out there getting that about the time we put you on probation. You have a dismal record. I'm not even sure 2,000 is sufficient, but I think that was considered to give you the option of paying off your case if you want. You actually owe $2,666.84. And I presume that includes restitution on the two thefts you pled to and maybe the others that you didn't. Maybe it's part of an agreement. But I will go ahead and leave it at 2,000 and with EMD, surety or cash. And then we'll see you back here April 8th at 3:30.
Okay.
All right. Anything else, Ms. Gillette?
I can't think of anything.
All right. And then the motion for judgment on bond, I trust, is set aside, but the state moves to set that aside since he got her in here.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So I'm going to let you off the hook on that, Mr. Case. But if you want to bond her again, you're going to have to pay $2,000 on it unless she comes up with the cash.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right,
We'll
bye.
be in recess. You're both excused.